Making a video has been something that I never wanted to do because I didn't think I had anything to offer to the YouTube world, or even like Instagram through my YouTube or making a video. I never thought that it would be useful. I didn't think that I had that big of a following, but then I realized that we all have a community and we all have people that we can talk to or will listen, and that's important to speak to them. So here is just a little story, this my story, who I am, and if that offers help to people, then that's awesome. If you could care less, then click away and don't watch. So starting in 2014, I was a junior in high school, and I had just broken up with a boyfriend, or he broke up with me, or whatever. Back then that seemed like a huge detail, but now that I like retell the story, I'm like, okay, who cares? But it did, it had an impact on me. I really lost my appetite. I wasn't very hungry. I wasn't starving myself. I just was not hungry. I would sit down to eat food and I was just like, And I think there was more to it than just him and I breaking up. I think it also had to do with just being 16 and having like a really weird time in your life. So I had lost a significant amount of weight. The reason I start the story here is because that's really is where it starts. Before that, there was like weird, random, immature puberty things that like just everyone goes through and like isn't really important or unique. So after that happens, we get back together, life's whatever. We start swimming. We're like, he joined the swim team, so I was like, whatever, I'll do it too, because I've never done any other sport in high school except cheerlead. So, but then we break up, blah, blah, blah. There's drama, which doesn't pertain to my fitness or my lifestyle. But before that, I was like, I'm going to start eating healthy. I'm going to stop drinking soda, and I'm going to stop eating fast food. And I did both those things. I still haven't drank a whole entire soda since then. January 2015 then? Or January 2014? January 2014. Yeah. Okay, so January 2014. Yeah, I stopped drinking fast food. I stopped drinking soda and stopped eating fast food, and I just would pack my own lunch. I stopped eating mayonnaise. I did the best to my knowledge. If I bought crackers or cookies, I always ate the serving size of them. So that was basically, and I was young enough, so that's all I really had to do. And I lost more weight, and I felt really good, and I had really healthy skin. My hair grew really long, and everything was awesome, and it was great. I got a lot of attention and gained a bigger following on Instagram. People were pretty inspired by my story. I think at that point I had lost 20-ish pounds, 25-ish pounds, which is a significant amount because I was never that heavy. Like, I wasn't humongous. Like, I was just a little chunky. So then, moving forward, it's my junior year towards the end. And, no, the summer going into my senior year. So summer 2014. Summer 2014, I started partying a lot. I went to a lot of parties, which I just got word that back then people thought that I lost weight because I partied. But that's not true. I lost weight because I ate really healthy and went to the gym and whatever and went for runs. I remember I would party on the weekends, and even if I partied the night before, I would still get up for a run. It like just did not affect me. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because like I'd never really partied at all, or I was so healthy that it didn't affect me, or I was young. But I definitely still worked out even if I was hungover. I don't know how, but I did. So then moving into my senior year, I stopped partying as much. I buckled down, got good grades, whatever. Still played sports, still packed my lunch, I ate healthy, and everything was fine. I maintained my weight. I did fine. I didn't really gain any weight back, and then I graduated high school. And when I graduated high school, I got the worst feeling in the whole world. I remember sitting in a doctor's office because I was about to get my wisdom teeth taken out. I remember sitting there with my dad and just looking over at him and saying, I feel horrible. I feel like the biggest loser. Like, I feel like I had like the blues. Like I just felt awful all the time. I felt depressed. Like I didn't want to do anything. And this carried on for a month. And then I moved out of my parents' house and it carried on forever. Like I felt like an endless sadness. And I finally said it's because I didn't go to college right out of school because I didn't even apply. I didn't do anything. I just had no plans. Like I was that person, and I never thought that I'd admit this because in high school I always said like I couldn't wait to get out of high school. But I lived in high school. I did all my sports and ate healthy and la 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 and did so great, and I had no plans after that. Like, I don't know if I just thought my life would continue in the same direction with that structure, but that was so false. Because as soon as I got out, I was like, what the hell? Like, what the hell? At this point, my dad had woken me up every morning and drove me to school every day. Like, I was not, like, ready to be an adult. And I thought that I was, but I was not. And looking back, I have grown so much since then. I was an idiot. Like, I was so dumb. I kept partying, and like just one day I was like, okay, I'm gonna start saving super intensely for school. So I saved a bunch of money. I had 2 jobs. Obviously, I'm leaving some details out, which other people know, but like it's not important to the story because the story is about like my weight loss and fitness. I had saved enough money to start my first semester of school, started my first semester of school. My dad bought me a car, my own car, and they moved to Missouri and I stayed here in Reno. So I started my first semester of school and that's fine. I remember right before this, I was working out really good again. I had time to work out because all I did was work. I just worked 2 jobs, which is terrible because I never slept. I closed at one job, so I got off at 10:30 and then woke up at 5:30 in the morning to open at another job. Oh my God, that is really what I did. And it's like magical to me. I don't understand like, like how I did that, but props to old me because I saved like $1,200 in like 4 months. And paid for my gas and my food and like paid rent somewhere else and blah, blah, blah. But I was unhappy. I was so unhappy. I had no friends. I felt so lonely. I missed sports and I missed feeling like I had a purpose. Like I missed all of that. I still worked out and I ate good and like I made a little more fitness progress, but then that just went out the window when I started school because I would just binge eat because I felt so lonely and horrible. I would just buy as much food as I could and I would just sit there and eat it because that felt better than dealing with my problems. I didn't really feel like I had anyone to talk to. I honestly didn't have anyone to talk to. I felt like the people around me in my life just thought I was annoying, didn't want to listen to me. I had lost connections too because I could kind of just, once I got so sad, I hated everybody. I hated being around people. I was just miserable. And then some changes happened. The week that my semester was over, I also left where I was living and I finally felt a little free. I was like, okay, like starting fresh, like let's just start over. I stayed with a friend and then my roommates just happened to say that I have now just texted me and said, hey, do you want to live somewhere else? And they didn't know I was pretty much homeless for like 3 weeks. Like I didn't really have a plan, but I felt so much better because I was like, I need to start fresh. I need a fresh start. So then, I moved in where I live now and it's great and awesome. And that just worked out for me because I kind of just let it happen. I did really good in my first semester considering my emotional state. Like I did pretty good. But I grew up a lot. I grasped the idea that having friends and being popular and having followers on Instagram is not important. Having abs is not important. Your health and your well-being is so much more important than anything else. If you don't have those things, then you have nothing. If you have no mental health or no physical health like quality, you have nothing. It doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter because if you feel shitty, your life is shitty. And I felt shitty and my life was shitty. Like that's just how it was. So a fresh start, I finally really felt like, okay, let's start over. I probably gained like 20 pounds back in that whole time because all I did was eat at nighttime and feel bad about myself and cry and whine. And I feel guilty a little bit to the people that were in my life because I don't think I was very fair to them. I think they had to be around me in such a terrible time, and I feel bad, but that's just the way life goes. I still have some friends that I had in that time, but for the most part, I don't really associate with anybody that I used to associate with, and that's okay. It took me a long time to realize that if you are on a path, you're gonna be lonely. If you're on a path that other people are not on, then you're alone on that one, and that's okay. And then I said, you know what? I was just sitting down, and I said, I'm gonna look for a gym. I want to weight lift. That's all I wanted to do. I knew that I wanted to weight lift and I wanted to get stronger. So I was like, I'm going to find a gym and I'm going to find coaches and I'm going to pay for it somehow. I didn't know how. I knew it was expensive, but I said I was blessed enough to have a car and not have a car payment. And I was blessed enough to get a new job that I make a little more money. So you know what? I'm going to take those opportunities and I'm going to work with them. So I started at a gym and I started at a CrossFit gym. I had no idea what I was getting into. I just filled out a questionnaire and they called me a few times. And I went in and they explained that I would Olympically weightlift and I had no idea what that meant. But I was like, okay. I just felt like I was meant to be there. It was really great and fun right from the beginning. It was nice to be around people who were on my path. To go in the same direction that I am in. And I didn't feel so lonely anymore. And I did feel like empowered. And then I noticed myself. I like really looked at myself and was like, oh, whoa, like you've gained a lot of weight. That sucks. And I remember I would have to, you stare into mirrors when you weightlift. Not all gyms are like that, but some are. And the ones that I have do have mirrors right in front of me. And I was like, wow, I'm not happy with the way I look. And so... And then I was kind of ashamed to do the movements at CrossFit workouts. I was like ashamed because I felt like so fat and like out of place. Like when you're around other fit people and you're not fit, you're like, you like really notice what you look like. But I didn't use that to like feel bad about myself and stop doing it. I said, you know what? You're going to get less ridiculous looking and you're just going to eat healthier and stay positive. And it's been hard and I'm not going to say it's been easy to be disciplined. But I'm doing it, and I guess that's where I am right now. And my story basically is that it gets better. It always gets better. If you are somebody who feels emotionally stuck right now, it will get better. You just need to put a little faith in yourself and in your lifestyle and know that, like, things will improve. I know that life out of high school is hard, and nobody talks about it. People talk about how college is the best time of your life, and it's the best time of your life, but it's not for everybody. It was terrible. I hated it. I had the worst time ever. It's been really hard, and I think up until now is the only time that it's gotten better. So I guess this is just a message to people who just got out of high school, or who are in college, or who finally just started living on their own, or whatever, that it does get better. Like, no matter what you go through, you will find yourself back on the path you're meant to be on. And I genuinely believe I'm meant to be on a path of fitness and I'm meant to eat healthy. And I think everybody should eat healthy, but that's like why I go to college, so I can get a degree and be a dietitian and teach people to eat healthy. But I just didn't give up. Even though I felt so emotionally drained and had no mental health and was physically unhealthy, I didn't give up, and I kind of found myself through all of that. Yeah, that's just all I had to say. Don't give up. It gets better.